Hello and welcome to the Good Boys Gone Bland Haunted Holiday Hotel. We hope you enjoy the show.
Hello and welcome to Good Boys Gone Bland, Season 4, Episode 8, Gremlins. I'm your co-host, Denali.
I'm your co-host, Ryan.
I'm your co-host, Jace.
That was a
Damn,
really
Jace, you put me to shame.
way to flex on Ryan with your Gizmo impression, dog. I'm sorry, your Howie Mandel doing Gizmo impression. Did you guys know that it was Howie Mandel in that movie?
Yeah,
I don't know who that
the
is.
Deal or No Deal guy.
he's the deal or no deal guy. Yeah,
I actually didn't. I actually knew just from his voice. Like I didn't even need to see the credits. I was like,
really.
I was like, oh, is that the deal? Yeah. He does it
Hey,
sometimes on the
Billy.
show. Yeah.
It's so funny. Like, I wish Mogwai or Gizmo had like more one-liners. They
Mhm.
should have just like
Yeah.
Looney Tunes did.
Yeah. He's like, fuck you, Gremlins. I wish he like had a line like that before, like swinging a bat or something. And then at the end, like right before he lets up all the curtains to like fry all the gremlins, Gizmo's like, "Fuck you, Stripe, you fucking piece of shit."
Wow.
And then
He's very vulgar.
Yeah, I think
this movie's rated PG.
Well, yeah. So this movie kind of inspired, as you probably know, the PG-13 rating. Nowadays we're a little, I think we're not as sensitive about cussing, right? I think a new, more modern Gremlins could handle something like that.
Well, that's kind of literally what the PG-13 rating was for. And you can still get one F-bomb.
You only get one F-bomb in a PG-13?
It's generally one. One. In certain
None.
circumstances, you could get more.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, I
not
think-
related to sex, right?
Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
So he couldn't
So,
say, I'm gonna fuck that gremlin.
I think, yeah, for many reasons, he could not say that. Not
What if
just the
Billy-
MPAA.
What if Billy is like, those gremlins are really fucking that town? Could he say that?
I think that's a sex context. Yeah.
That's a
Oh, it
sex
is.
context. Okay.
If that comes directly after the gremlin showing his crotch, then it is definitely sex content.
What if it was like, oh fuck, I see that gremlin's crotch?
that would probably be non-sexual.
Well, guys, if you haven't noticed yet, this is our Christmas episode.
Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Merry Christmas, by the way, or happy holidays to whatever what you guys happen to celebrate around this
Well,
time of
right,
year.
but to be fair, this is actually
on Christmas
right.
Day.
well,
or
and
around
it's
it.
it's literally a Christmas movie.
Right, it is.
Yeah.
They do
Happy
straight-
holidays for sure. If
But
you don't
yeah,
celebrate
of course.
Christmas, then happy holidays to whatever holiday you do celebrate. But this is a Christmas themed episode.
Well, yeah, that's fair. And those of you who haven't picked up on context clues, maybe not the episode for the whole fam. For this one, maybe
Are any?
your own discretion.
This
You guys do family-
not PG-13.
So this is a Christmas themed movie. You guys have a favorite like Christmas tradition. I know we probably talked a little bit about Christmas with our Krampus episode. Every family kind of has their own like Christmas traditions. Do you guys have any like quirky traditions you guys do around the holidays?
Yeah, I really love getting into the crawl space and getting out all of my stepmom's fucking decorations. And I'm
That,
so excited to do it when I live with Yuri. And she's like, we've got to decorate. And it's like, you're going to make me take these down in a month. This isn't fair.
That really is a rite of passage of dragging all of your holiday supplies out of the crawl space for us, because our crawl space is about 3 feet high, so it's fucking backbreaking. And like the Christmas stuff is about 300 pounds, all the way in the back on the other side of the house. The bottom of the crawl space is all gravel with like sharp rocks.
It hurts.
And I remember when I turned 11, when I was about strong enough to make a couple trips, my dad bestowed upon me the power of dragging all that shit from the crawl space.
The time has come, son.
This
My
is why
dad
we
is-
made you.
He's a tall guy. He's 6'2", all right, and it's a lot taller than me. And this poor guy had to fold in half in a 3-foot fucking crawl space every year.
All that the light does not touch is our Christmas decorations.
Why don't they make crawl spaces like taller,
Like walk spaces.
like stand spaces? Like I think maybe one or
I
two
would- I
more
think it's just-
shovelfuls. They could have made it a little deeper.
Yeah, they have a cool nickname for that though.
Called like a
Basement.
room.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, it doesn't have to be like a basement. It doesn't have to be fancy. They can keep all the shittiness of a crawl space. They can keep all the
Oh.
sketchy spiders.
Oh, actually, in
Um,
Michael's parents' house in Alaska, their newer one that they moved to.
right.
I was there once, and I went down in the basement.
Yeah.
Their crawl space. And it's like same thing where there's a ladder in this one, right? You have to go down this ladder through a hole in the floor. And it's
Right.
that weird tarp stuff.
Ooh.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
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 Perfectly clean.
They gotta
It's a
do
pretty
that.
new house. Perfectly clean, and I could stand up and I could walk around. It was weird. I was like, why not just like put a real staircase in and make this part of your house? But I think it's like, I don't know, something to do with like these things called like building codes.
Well, like how much laws can it break? You just dig a little deeper. Just dig like one shovel length deeper into the ground, right? And I don't know anything about constructing or cost, but like if you know, how much does an extra
Well,
shovel?
I think it's about like lawful egresses, right? Because like, what if there's a fire down there?
Well, let's
and
leave
it's
birds
near
out of the
staircase?
conversation.
Egress.
That's my favorite bird.
I remember we had like a water softener in our crawl space, and we would have to go to Lowe's and get
Like a
these
stool
40
softener?
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And we because in Alaska, all your water is like almost rocks. It's so mineralized. It's like one water molecule away from being rocks. And it's like we have to carry these 40-pound bags of salt down. Do you guys have to do this when growing up?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So that 3-foot tall crawl space, as a teenager, you're dragging 80 fucking pounds of salt in like a big sack. I'm just venting all of my my grievances. Going, crawl spaces suck, guys. House builders, if you're listening, just dig a little deeper.
Fuck the permafrost.
Well, right.
It's
And
going away anyways.
What was with like all the like you said spiders, but like
Yeah.
on the East Coast, and I think in like I guess in the lower 48, a lot of places they just have the crawl spaces like on ground level. They're like not like Alaskan crawl spaces that are completely sealed off, so you can like just crawl around under the house. Right? They just put the house on blocks,
Oh, now I know
Oh.
what you're talking about. Yeah.
and the ground, like the bottom of the crawl space, is literally the ground, like earth.
Well, I don't know. I know East Coast is older than the West Coast. Could it be possible that the ground just eroded away, and then that's just kind of what's left?
He's got a point.
No, he literally does not have a point.
You guys fuck with Christmas carols?
Oh, absolutely not.
I fucks with
Jace?
karaoke now, so I might fucks with
Yeah.
Christmas carols.
Yeah, sweet. Well, I thought it would be like a nice kind of treat for our GBGB audience for the holidays to kind of treat them to a type of Christmas carol this year. If you guys
These
are
poor
down,
bastards.
all I need is one yes vote from the three of us to make this happen. So Ryan, what are you feeling for this?
Nay.
Nay from Ryan. Okay, I expected that. We could take that hit. Jace.
No, I'm about a claw deep. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to say yeah.
Oh, we got a yay. That's all we needed. I was a wild card. I was gonna go either way with this. But since we definitely have a yay from 50% of our audience pool here, we are gonna go ahead and do this bit. Just let's keep it loose. Let's keep it fun. I'm gonna be
filibuster?
using. You may not, Ryan, but
As long as you
can
sing it and it's Christmas themed, you can filibuster.
Yeah. So, for this first one, it's gonna have to go to either of you guys, and I figured we can do a second one with the three of us all together. But just to get us kind of warmed up with this idea, I need one of you to take this one. So I don't know how you guys want to do this. Do you guys want to choose a number and do this, or do you guys just want to decide between each other?
I don't trust you.
We
You
should
wanna play
probably choose a
virtual
number.
rock, paper, scissors.
I don't trust Denali picking
Oh, yeah,
a
let's-
number.
let's play rock paper scissors. Can you guys just text me your choice for rock paper or scissors, and then I will I'll let you guys know the winner.
Why wouldn't we just
We can't
rock paper
we can't
scissors?
sync it up with the camera, right? Because is that even possible?
We've got like literally no delay right now.
Okay, you guys, let's go rock paper scissors. I'll just narrate. Okay, Jace has his palm out and with a fist on it. Ryan's doing just a palm right now. Okay. Let's do this best of one. Okay, guys. In sudden death, whoever loses this one,
First to win
Well,
0.6.
actually, you know
matches.
what? Whoever wins this gets the
So we're trying to lose?
yeah, you're trying to
Ooh,
lose.
Change my strategy.
Yeah, it's harder to lose at rock paper scissors than win. Okay, go.
Wait, are we going on?
Shit. This
that
is so hard. Okay.
So I go rock, paper, scissors, then-
go.
How about
Yeah.
I do it? Because then you'll have a voice that comes to your guys' heads at the
Well,
same
we
time.
know how to play rock, paper, scissors. We just didn't know
Okay.
whether the person
Well,
went 3 or 4.
Well, you guys
I
gonna
go
be
on 4.
slapping at different times. Okay.
On 4.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Okay, Ryan won that with rock. Ryan crushed Jace's scissors. Ryan is going nuts right now. He is so psyched. So Ryan, you are going to be taking this first song, okay? And hey,
You
listen,
pick scissors. You're trying to lose.
listen, dog. And don't worry, Ryan. We'll all get a chance. We'll all get a chance up on deck here, okay? So I'm gonna need your guys' help because I'm on madtakes.com, the great website that kind of helps us kind of build these songs. So and
Jesus Christ.
let's take this seriously, guys. Let's treat our audience to a great Christmas carol. A lot of it's kind of like uncertain times right now. A lot of us are turning to podcasts to bring on the Christmas cheer. So let's give them a treat with this carol. So first, Jace, can you give me an adjective, please?
Frozen.
Occupation. Let me think of an occupation. Okay, I'll do app developers. Ryan, can I get a verb ending in ing?
Noodling.
Noodling. Okay. Jace, verb ending in ing.
Communing.
Communing. Wow. Okay.
What does that even mean?
To commune together. I'm
Okay,
going with some like weird kind of Sunday mass type Christmas shit for my verbs.
Okay.
My words.
Okay. Noun plural. Dookies. Okay. Ryan, noun plural. Go.
Spaghettios.
Spaghettios. Jace, occupation plural. As fast as you can. Just a job that's plural.
Plural? Farmers.
Oldest profession.
Verb ending in ing. Farting. Okay. Ryan, noun plural. Go.
Oh man. Cans of raviolis.
Jace, adjective. Go.
I want something like grosser than moist. Like no.
Damp.
But in relation to the raviolis, like
Slimy.
I'm good.
let's go with
Spongy?
swampy.
Verb ending in ing. Squirting. Okay. Oh. It says nationality.
American.
American. There we go. Noun plural. Jace.
Noun plural. Gremlins.
Nice.
Gremlins. Nice. Okay. Animal me. Brook trout.
Yes.
And then Ryan, a noun.
Oh boy. Spear.
Spear. Okay. Nice. Ryan, I'm gonna Facebook message you this.
God.
Oh great. Got a
Oh, I
lot on
forgot he has to do it.
All right, Ryan. And this is to the tune of the 12 Days of Christmas.
Do I have to do the whole thing? That song's like 8 minutes long.
Well, you can just read what I sent you. It's the final verse. I'm not gonna make you.
Oh, okay.
So strap in, folks. This is gonna be a 12-minute song.
Okay.
All right, so let's take this seriously, guys. Let's not laugh it up.
Oh, yeah, take it
we
seriously.
did all of the, we did all the words. Let's just like listen in and just try to think about what makes Christmas special. So, all right, Ryan, whenever you're ready, don't read it first. Just go.
I'm trying not to, but it's just staring
Okay.
me in the face.
Yeah, okay. And then I'll kind of cue you in with the trumpets, like.
Are there trumpets in this song?
It's like they just kind of have like a musical number, and then the singer comes in.
Oh, okay, yeah. On the 12th day of Christmas, my frozen love sent to me. It's too many syllables. That's gonna be a problem, isn't it?
Finish it.
12 app developers noodling, 11 pipers communing, 10 douches a leaping. Nine spaghettios dancing, 8 farmers a milking. Whoa!
Whoa!
7 swans a farting. 6 cans of raviolis a laying, 5 swampy rings. 4 squawking birds, 3 American hens, 2 turtle gremlins, and a brook trout in a spear tree.
Ooh.
Oh God.
I read 5 swampy rings, and the next thing was 4 squirting birds.
Oh, that was beautiful, Ryan. I think I almost pulled a muscle. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Well, that was
Holy shit.
that was a Christmas classic, guys. And let's not wear this out a little too much. I figured there's one we can do all 3 of us do. Just real quick, and then I'll split it into sections. Maybe we can each take a different verse, and I'll send you guys on a group chat if that works. So let's make this fast. We don't want to wear this out. So Ryan, if I can get a plural noun.
Oh man, fedoras.
Jace, a noun.
Handle.
I think
Handle.
this one's gonna turn out a lot like Jace's apartment.
There.
10. Jace is sitting down at his desk. Another noun, Tom Brokaw. Ryan, a verb ending in ing.
Ooh, slashing.
Slashing on theme. Jace, a body part.
Weenus.
You want to do
Dude, I was seriously gonna say weenus.
weenus,
Yeah.
the muscle on your elbow for those of you who are not anatomically inclined.
Is it the muscle or is it the skin? I thought it was always the skin.
Is
I
it
thought
skin?
it was
I
the
honestly
weird
don't know.
scrote skin on the end of the elbow.
Well, Jace.
It might honestly. I took anatomy and I helped teach it as a student assistant, and we did not learn
Natalie,
about
do you
weenus.
remember the time that we were in the parking garage going to the Fifth Avenue Mall, and I think it might have been Brittany's car.
Oh, then my
you got
my
out
weenus got
and
slammed into a
somebody
car?
shut the rear door,
Yeah.
and your weenus got caught in the car door.
Of course I remember, Ryan.
But it was the negative gap between the rear door and the front door as they shut the rear door, and there's this like little overhang piece that comes up and makes a seal with the front door.
Yeah.
And that
was,
caught his weenus.
yeah, my weenus almost got sliced clean off by that Subaru door. That was our friend Jake. Jake
It was
Buck,
Jake's car.
who listens to the podcast. Hi, Jake. I remember he slammed. My elbow kind of rested for a sec because I lost my balance. He slammed the car door and it pinched my elbow skin super hard. I could not get out at all. Like I was held by the skin.
Stuck.
And then Jake had to intervene. I still remember, and it weirdly didn't hurt. I was totally stuck though. Adjective. Stinky. Noun. Ryan.
Oh, samurai.
Jace. Noun plural.
Movie theaters.
Noun. Pop socket. Ryan. Noun plural.
Cigarettes.
Jace. Adjective.
Trying to think of things that were in Gremlins. Let's go with smoking.
Okay. Adjective. Sweaty. Okay. Body part plural. Ryan.
Knees.
Knees. Jace. Adjective.
Caramel.
Ooh. Me.
That's
verb,
that's clever.
bounce. Ryan. Male name.
What?
A male name, like
Oh.
like the gender.
Gerald.
Gerald. We're almost done. Jace. Verb ending in ed.
Skydived.
Noun. Squids. Ryan. Noun plural.
Fried eggs.
Chicken?
I don't know why I found that so funny.
That was just really normal.
Verb. Slurp. Ryan. A noun plural.
Guitars.
Jace. Verb.
Acted.
Verb ending in ing. Massaging. Ryan. A noun.
Strobe light.
Ooh, strobe light. All right. Jace. Noun plural.
Ben Affleck's.
Wow.
Ben Affleck's. Ben Affleck clones or Ben Affleck's?
Characters
Let's-
of his movies brought to life
Like
separately.
multiple Ben Afflecks. Yeah.
Multiple.
clones,
Ben
essentially.
Affleck characters.
Yeah.
All right, place inside an
You
Arby's.
said we were almost done, and we've gone through 3 additional rounds of words.
Okay, we're almost done. Ryan, a place?
That's different than the inside of an Arby's.
Yeah.
The Burger King drive-through.
Burger King.
Right outside of the inside of the Arby's.
Anywhere else. There's 2 places in the world. Jace, verb ending in ed.
Groaned.
And then last one, adjective. Framble.
Yeah.
Scringedy.
Scrunchy.
Scrunchy.
Oh.
All right. I'm going to send this to you guys. And I labeled your guys' parts. So, Jace is going to get the first verse, then it's me, then it's Ryan, and we're going to kind of go on. And, this is to the tune of Merry Christmas. The song was like chestnuts. I don't want to sing it because I
I
don't know.
don't actually know all that many Christmas songs, so I'm gonna do my best, but I have no clue.
Let's just try our best, guys. I know we yucked it up with Ryan's one, so this one we're gonna try to take a little more seriously. And then let's do this thing and celebrate Santa Claus and everything he sacrificed.
And we can just auto-tune the shit out of it.
That's right. Yeah, and I'll edit it and make it sound good. So Jace, if you want to tee us off.
Fedoras roasting on an open candle. Tom Brokaw slashing at your weenus. Stinky carols being sung by a samurai. And folks dressed up like movie theaters.
Everybody knows a pop socket and some cigarettes. Smoky to make the season sweaty. Tiny tots with their knees all aglow. We'll find it caramel to bounce tonight.
They know that Gerald is on his way. He skydive lots of squids and fried eggs. What? Squids and fried eggs on his sleigh. That's so. And every mother's chicken is going to slurp to see if guitars really know how to act.
And so I'm massaging this little strobe light to Ben Affleck characters from inside an Arby's to Burger King drive-thru. I don't know where to sing. Although it's been grown many times, many ways.
A scrunchy Christmas to
you.
Dun, dun, dun,
Woo! I don't want to listen to that on the episode. I'm not listening to this episode.
Man, there's some long ones.
That was
Jace
great.
had an extreme to Ben Affleck characters from inside an Arby's.
You really had to
Burger
bust
King
a rhymes
drive-thru.
that one. Yeah,
Yeah.
you really had to fit all those syllables in. But guy, I think we have a banger on our hands, guys. It's kind of like a guy mid-stroke, kind of giving like a solo. Yeah. So I think hope you guys enjoyed that Christmas Carol. You guys want to talk about Christmas more? You want to talk about this movie?
I hope that everyone that listens to the episode is like
Yeah.
5 eggnogs deep.
Yeah,
when
I'm
they
gonna
get
put a
to that
disclaimer.
part.
Just get completely blacked out before listening to this episode, or whatever your equivalent is. Ryan, did you have a bit for intro?
Yeah, so last week I gave you guys a homework assignment. I asked you to
Oh, God.
if you turn them in.
Yeah, right on it. I'm just gonna pull it out slowly. Here we go. You guys just keep talking. I'm gonna make sure I have my homework.
And if you could remember when you wake up in the morning, write down your dream. And I thought we could give each other some like Freudian analysis. And I think that I was mostly expecting this to go awry. However, something strange happened last night to where me and Denelli both had very weird dreams, apparently at the exact same temporal time. Like we were both like, I texted you this morning, and then later
Yeah.
you said, "What the? I was also awake."
Yeah.
And then Jace apparently had a similar dream to what I had.
I had weird dreams all week because
Yeah,
I
after
sleep
doing
like
this-
shit.
Yeah, after like learning to write down your dreams, you start to remember your dreams more often. And like, turns out dreams are weird, guys. Like they don't make any sense.
Yeah, they're like the songs we sing today.
They're like Mad Libs. Dreams are like your brain playing Mad Libs. So I want to. I'm just gonna pick the best one, and honestly, the best one was last night. So what happened in my dream was that the three of us, the GBGBs, we rented an Airbnb in LA,
Oh,
almost like a TikTok house, right? Like an influencer
right.
house.
The GBGB house. Yeah.
Yeah. But somehow, like, my mom and my brother were there too. And I'm reading this off because I don't remember the whole thing, anyways.
Okay.
We found a dead body in the basement
Mm-hmm.
and a bunch of maps that looked like they were for a dungeon that was underneath the house. So we found the entrance to it. It was like a trap door, and underneath that was a cave, and we went down inside of it. But I ended up getting really angry at Denali because he was upset that we didn't have proper spelunking gear, but somehow he did.
Yep. That's
And I want to, that's all I wrote down. But I remember that exchange most because at one point we're in the cave and Denali made something about like, you're going to scrape your knees in those pants. I think I was wearing shorts.
Yep.
You're going to scrape your knees if you don't have like at least calfling pants. And he had like this spelunking gear and they were like tights. They were literally football pants.
Mhm.
I remember getting so angry and like, I think I tackled you or something. And I was
We were friends. Yeah.
I was holding on your collar and I was like, I don't have 3 pairs of hockey pants. I don't know why I said that. And then you had a Slurpee, like an icy from 7-Eleven,
Yeah.
and you slurped
Right.
it super, super, super loudly because it was like empty. And you said, well, someone's unprepared. And when you said that, I literally woke up. Like I got so angry that I woke up.
Wow.
Holy shit.
That sounds like something that would happen in real life between us.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'm trying to think about what this means, Jace. I mean, do you have a theory?
I'm still kind of processing.
I mean, maybe Ryan's, maybe he's worried that he has do you have a big spelunking trip coming up?
I've been thinking about surprising Julie with a spelunking trip.
Okay.
I was
Alright,
reading about
Julie-
caves not too long ago.
Yeah. Okay.
Unironically, I actually was reading about caves not too long ago.
Do you drive past a 7-Eleven often?
Yeah, we go pick up our packages at a 7-Eleven.
Bingo. Okay, so you have a fetish for Slurpees, dog. I'm sorry to say it.
That's it.
And you're trying. You kind of predicted that I would tell you this, and you got really mad at me in the dream. And
Just like right
that
now.
was your defense mechanism.
You knew
So-
it was coming.
You knew it was coming, dude. You knew I was gonna call you out on the Slurpee thing. You tried to like insert it as like a little detail, but
It wasn't Denali having the Slurpee and slurping on it that woke you up and set you off. It was your unbridled sexual attraction to the Slurpee.
he said he wanted a Freudian analysis, Ryan. He was
I was about to say,
he didn't say an actual accredited.
wow, this guy was full of shit.
Freud was full of shit. According to my freshman year psych class. Yeah, I mean, maybe you have an insecurity. Maybe you're insecure that I'm better and just kind of like
I think
or
I think that's maybe it. Where like
the best at everything.
if I'm going with you to do anything, there's going to be some part of you that's unhappy with my preparation.
That's isn't that just the crux of every relationship I have?
Yeah,
Well, nice.
Jace was cool about the whole thing.
Which is amazing because I've probably been like, why the fuck are we going into that hole? We're going to die.
Oh, I would 100% have a panic attack before going spelunking. So that's, have no fear, right? I am not going spelunking. Jace, do you have a wicked dream?
So like, I think I'm in like I dream a lot. And I also wake up in the middle of the night a lot, which means it's not uncommon for me to have like 3 or 4 separate dreams each night.
Wow.
And I tried to write like a sentence for at least a few and just realized that they kind of got longer as they went on. But much like Ryan this week, I had a dream where Denali, I almost lost my shit. So I have this weird landscape, I think, in my dreams where everything is kind of interconnected. And there's this kind of mecca where for some reason Seattle and Pullman are like neighborhoods in and of themselves, and you can visit back and forth. And you were visiting the house that I was living in at some point. And I remember we were talking in the garage, and it was like, oh, there's a nice golf course next door. We can go fuck around. We can go mess around at the golf course. So we drive up to it, full well knowing that we're not good at golf, and we get up onto the first tee, and you were like, "I'm gonna go first." I was like, "Okay," and you stand up next to the ball for like 3 minutes, like practice swinging, like, and everyone's like, and I'm like. Dude,
There's a line for me.
Yeah, there's like a line. It says waiting at first hole. and then you finally go up and you hit it, and you like, I think you were honestly like prepped. I think you were like PGA prepped. So just like the spelunking thing, it looked like you were ready to play professional golf, and you just hit the worst ball ever. And like, it's like, okay, who's next? And you turn around, you're like, no! And you pull out this golf ball. You're like, I'm out here using this Titleist 5. I'm gonna hit the fucking golf ball. I deserve to go again. And then you get up, and I think it might have been a meme because I think you took like another 8 minutes to hit the ball again the second time. And I was just like,
Yeah, not only fearful for like Denawi's life because you might beat him to death with a golf club, but also like you might get kicked out of the country club.
maybe. I don't really know why we're there.
Denali embarrasses you in public.
Yeah, I mean that's just again another summarization. So if people wanted to kind of get an idea of
what it's like knowing you for over a decade, you permeate our dreams, man.
I'm glad I can bring you guys stress from beyond. Yeah.
That was a one.
Is there more?
That was a one of like just like 20 dreams this week. So it wasn't like I had one particular like I dreamt one this week and was like, oh my god, weird golf course dream. My second note was the most frightening, and I don't know if I consider it a nightmare. I was off of a beach, like snorkeling with like 5 friends, and a shark shows up, and I'm swimming away from it as fast as I can, and it just keeps biting at my calves.
Oh,
but
no.
I only end up with like 2 cuts on my leg, 2 like small little cuts on my legs before I get out of the water. I'm like, fuck,
It's like dream punches, right? But dream shark bites, they're still ineffective.
Okay. So what do we think about this second dream with a shark biting Jace's ankles? Is this a complex? Are you running away from
He's running from something. Yeah, that's what I say, yeah.
What's the shark?
Failure?
Impending age and
where if you start to slow down at all, it's the beginning of the end.
And then you take a day off and you feel like you're being suffocated because you just feel guilty.
Yeah. Shark gets a bite in.
I take a lot of days off.
That's cool, Jace. That's a good one.
Yeah. Jace, I'm with a similar affliction. With many dreams and many wakeless nights, because you can probably tell I text you guys like 3 or 4 a.m.
Yeah, you text us at the strangest hours.
That's because I'm up, man. I'm just I got to respond to things, and it's a good time. The mind's active.
Nothing else to do.
Sometimes you have to reset. Like if you have something that like spooks you in the middle of the night, I have to get up out of my bed, go to the bathroom, and be like, okay.
Reset. Yeah. Sometimes I'll stare at the ceiling in bed, and I'll just stick my arm up in the air, and I'll see how long I can hold my arm vertically. And as soon as my arm starts to drift off to the side, I'm like, okay, I'm tired. I can go back to sleep.
That is a really interesting technique.
It just makes me think about something else, like something else is going on.
No, that's good. Maybe that's a good insomnia trick. Maybe I'll give it a try. It's a mindfulness, focusing on something else.
Right, yeah.
Type of thing. Yeah, I did have a dream now that you guys mentioned it last night. I was like in a bonnet and I was in like a carriage, like a kind of like a stroller, and you guys were both pushing me in the stroller. And then I was like, I'm so hungry. And then Jace picks me up and takes my diaper off and just starts spanking me as hard as he can. And I'm like, ow, Jay, stop it. And then Ryan just starts wailing on my other buns too. And next thing you know, I got both you guys just spanking me as hard as you can. And I'm like, I'm sorry. And then, you guys are like, well, now you got a butt rash from getting spanked too much. And you guys, go to Safeway and buy a bunch of baby powder and just start sprinkling all over my bare baby butt. And then just start spanking away again. And it looks like the inside of a bakery in there. And then I let out a long toot, and it's like a big vape cloud. And it fills up the whole space, and then I wake up. And now I'm here.
I think you're really excited for Christmas cookies.
Yo, those powdered sugar cookies, man. Those gingerbread cookies with the powdered sugar.
That's it.
I'm so psyched for Christmas, guys. And yeah, I think it gets to the
Get into the movie.
You guys want to talk about this movie? I'm psyched about the holidays.
Let's talk about literally anything else.
Well, let's talk more about my dreams, guys. What do you guys think?
That's cool. So this week we had Gremlins.
Yeah, what about the baby diaper?
Yeah, we covered it. So
I think again, Christmas cookies.
Yeah. I bet our audience right now is just like clawing their ears out, foaming at the mouth, just begging and pleading for us to get to talking about
I think if there's a podcast
Yeah.
episode that makes you feel that way, you should probably just switch.
It's us.
So let's stop dawdling about. Let's get into our movie this week. Who's got the synopsis this week? Is it me?
I think so.
Gremlins. Gremlins, guys. Gremlins. The classic 1984 Christmas horror comedy. We finally reviewed it. This is a Steven Spielberg produced, classic movie starring Zach Galligan, Phoebe Cates, randomly Corey Feldman as well. Just a lot of huge stars for the time. And this is about a boy who is a man. Is that right? Is he? Well, how old is Billy? Because his dad's like, I'm gonna find a present for my son, and I was like,
he's a teenager. We know he's a teenager.
Yeah. Is he a teenager?
Yeah, he's a teenager.
Working at a bank.
Yep, he's a teenager.
Okay, so Billy's a boy.
The drinking age at this point, I think, was 18.
Was it 18? Okay, because he's in a bar too.
Yeah.
Okay, and then so Billy gets a present for Christmas, and this present is a little creature called a Mogwai that his inventor dad steals from a store, from a small business. And this Mogwai thing is ain't, it ain't like your normal your normal pet. It's got a couple rules. What first rule? Keep it in the dark. Don't shine any lights on it. Wicked doesn't like that. Second rule. It will climax as soon as it touches water.
Jesus Christ.
That's what it. Okay, listen.
What's the second rule?
It
will start procreating if it touches water.
Procreate. Let's be adults now. There's other words we can use, but let's just kind of like be mature. It does climax as soon as it touches water.
Let's. Okay.
And
I totally understand.
To do it. Yeah.
I totally understand that. Can we use like?
Yeah. So the Mogwai, when he touches water, he
multiplies.
Yeah. He gets stimulated, and then he creates more of himself. Happy, Ryan?
Yes.
And then after he climaxes, he has all these gremlins, and then there's tons of them. There's like 30 of them now. And then Billy's like, "Dang, I know I was told all these rules, but there's only one more I need to break because I'm a fucking idiot, because I'm like the dumbest character in the history of cinema." And he's like, "All right, these little guys, spoilers, sorry, these Mogwai are hungry, and I'm gonna give them a bunch of chicken wings, and they after midnight, which is the last rule, don't feed them after midnight. That makes them wicked mean." And then they turn into gremlins, guys, and
that was the most convoluted way of telling the three rules. You can do it in like under 12 words.
They attack the town, guys, and
no bright lights, no water, and don't feed them after midnight.
Excuse me, I'm not Steven Soderbergh over here, okay? I'm just
I think notoriously long scripts
to give you a day in the life type of script. You know, I'm not like freaking
I'm sorry.
old
I'm
man
sorry I
Mystique.
stepped on your toes here.
Yeah, I'm more like Ulysses, the book, when I describe these movies.
Is that a horse
Yes.
book?
So that's Gremlins, guys, and you know, I'm sure the audience knows what I'm talking about. They've seen this movie. It's during Christmas, and they got to solve this gosh darn Gremlins problem. So yeah, that's Gremlins. You know, I was kind of wondering, and you know, I know you guys might have thought about this too, because the way the Mogwai is introduced, it's kind of introduced as like this, like, oh, it's like an ancient Chinese thing, right? Like, because he gets it from Chinatown. He's like, it's called a Mogwai, and I think white people in the 80s just kind of thought if it was from China, that's basically like it's from space or something.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing really Chinese, especially about it, I feel.
Well, I think Mogwai is an aspect of Chinese folklore.
Is it really? Is it actually? Let me look it up. Let me Mogwai. Because I was wondering, like, is there a well, Mogwai is actually a band, so.
Well, okay. What came first, the chicken or the egg in this situation?
To be clear, 1980s, there are probably hundreds, if not thousands, of animals you've never seen before. So, like,
yeah,
he could have found a
Didn't have the
Mogwai
internet.
in any shop, and he would have been like, "What the?"
Yeah.
because they're like, where do you guys think Mogwais came from? Because like evolutionarily, I feel like it just doesn't make sense with the rules it has.
They're an alien species, and only 1 in 10,000 Mogwai is actually nice. Like,
Yeah, like
Gizmo is, and that's canon.
I think that's actually literally the
It
explanation.
is literally canon. Yeah.
Is that canon? Where'd you
In
read
the
that?
second
Was that-
movie, there's
Yeah.
a laboratory scene with Christopher Lee, and he does a lot of experiments. I think that was like either in the first or second movie in the deleted scenes, there was something about like explaining the Mogwai.
Oh shit, are you for real? Because
Yeah,
my thing was that I thought this was a bioweapon. Like this
Oh.
is at like an evil villains.
Can we
conference.
talk a little bit about? I don't know if you guys have a longer bit to go into, but like, can we talk a little bit about the Gremlins themselves? Because they're one of my favorite aspects of like urban legend.
Oh yeah, like the World War II legend.
Yeah,
about,
Gremlins are not made up just for this movie. Gremlins have been a story for a long time, and notably, whenever something's wrong with a machine or like an electrical component, sometimes you say, "Oh, it's got gremlins," if you can't explain the situation.
right.
And that goes back also to World War II. And there was a character in this who would ramble about this sort of thing. He would say, "Oh, there were always these gremlins in our airplanes." But there's stories from pilots who are very well respected, like Charles Lindbergh, who said that he was flying across probably the Atlantic and he saw gremlins out on his plane wings or like in the cockpit. And they weren't just making him crash. They were like messing with his radar and stuff. But and then some people also say like they will help you in a situation as well if you need help.
I feel like this was before pressurized cabins. And he was
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah, hypoxic.
yeah.
There was a gas leak into your plane.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
for
so
keeping from your-
it's
yeah.
it's a really old legend, the Gremlins part.
Mhm.
So I really liked how they tied that in, where they would just mess with machinery and they would just
Yeah.
totally jack everything up. But then also they would still be able to work things, like they work the movie projector, and they like one of my favorite scene in the movie. They sabotage the lady's automatic chair that goes up the stairwell for her. You
Yeah.
know, where they sit on. Sometimes old people have like a chair that will let them go up the stairs,
Funniest
and
stuff.
they turbo it, and then
Yeah,
she
so
goes
these-
flying.
Surprising intelligence. And I think that goes into my evil villain theory, is that I do think these were engineered. Like, you know, let's say we're at an evil villain conference, you know, and
Yeah.
I'm pitching Gremlins. You know, it's like,
Okay,
oh, hey
so
guys,
this is like
you know,
the SNL bit.
it's not like I'm not gonna go, hey guys, thanks for inviting me to the conference. Super excited to be here, guys. Just you know, feel free to ask me any questions you guys have. Name's Johnny Grems, and I'm just gonna kind of give you guys my pitch. All right, so I have this this creature, okay, and it's called a gremlin, named after me, and its power, it's gonna revolutionize the game. He's when it touches water, it does it climax.
Multiplies?
Thank you. Down in front. And there's more of them. And there's going to be a lot of them. It's everyone follow so far.
Yeah, how is this gonna help you be like an evil villain?
Okay, yeah. So
what do they do?
Yeah, so thank you guys, by the way. That's a good segue. So after you get them wet, and there's a ton of them, they get wicked mad if you feed them after midnight, local time. And when they flip, they turn into scaly perverts who like to smoke and drink.
Can the scaly perverts also?
Yeah, down in front.
Um.
And
climax.
So that, yeah. When they get wet, they will also climax too. They just like.
So
Yeah.
are we? When we purchase these minions for ourselves, which package do we get? Do we start with the cute kind of looking ones or the scaly?
Cute ones are gonna be good question. Cute ones.
Why would I want to buy these?
Okay, a little rude, but these guys, they mess with the lights, and they swing around on like a ceiling fan. Anyways, what do you guys think? You guys want to buy in?
I just don't quite understand the after midnight part.
Well, after midnight, they turn into eggs.
Isn't it always after midnight?
Well, no, no. You feed them after midnight, and they turn into eggs.
What are their weaknesses?
Weaknesses, yeah. So this is, I mean, it's kind of a bug, but I like to call it a feature. So bright lights pretty much KO'd. Actually KO'd so hard they turn into Gak from Nickelodeon.
Like how many lumens are we talking about?
Any lumen at all, actually.
1 lumen?
Yeah, 1 lumen they will turn into Gak from Nickelodeon, and we might need to give them a call.
I'm sorry, and for that reason, I'm out.
You're okay. Did you have any other questions? Any closing questions before I?
They can they talk? Like, do they understand verbal command or?
That is not clear.
I'm out.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, what on the stage?
So we've all seen this movie before, right?
You know,
Yes.
I did not remember half stuff in this movie.
I've seen this movie probably more than any other movie we've reviewed on this podcast.
Same for me. I watched it with Amber, and it was her first time. She had never even heard
Wowzers.
of it. Yeah.
What?
And so, I was kind of hyping it up. I was like, oh, it's such a classic. It's like a 80s staple. And then when I watched it, I think in my head it was better when I had watched it as a child. And rewatching
I feel
it.
the exact opposite.
You think it's better now?
I was laughing until I couldn't breathe today.
There was a couple of good scenes, but like Amber, like when she watched the opening scene, she was like, "Is this like a real movie? Like, is this like?" Because I didn't realize how bad the acting and dialogue was.
Yeah.
And she was like, "I can't watch this. Like, this is like the wildest like fucking movie."
This movie, like
Yeah.
the stuff they put the Gremlins up to, I forget every single time. Like they have so many weird Gremlins. They have like a masked robber Gremlin.
Oh.
They have a Gremlin who likes to wear Santa hats and jump on ceiling fans. They have for a split second like a doctor Gremlin.
There's a gremlin
Like
wearing a
PMPL
corset
sketch.
with lipstick on and a
Yeah.
wig.
There's cool Gremlin and there's puppet show Gremlin. Like there's so many cool things in this movie that are like so funny. And there's like a leg warmers exercise video Gremlin. And I think you just couldn't do things like that nowadays and be just wholeheartedly accepted, I think.
Yeah. I didn't think they'd go in. I remember stuff like that in the second Gremlins, which is what it's famous for. But to do that on your inaugural movie.
Yeah, it's the first time, and like the audience is still figuring out what these gremlins are, and immediately they go to like, let's have one gremlin smoke 4 cigarettes at the same time.
And everything stops dead when the jazz music comes on, and there's like a cool gremlin smoking a cigarette at a table, and he like looks over.
And everybody else is playing poker.
And that's when Amber was like, "What the fuck is going on?"
They break all pacing from a normal movie, and then a gremlin comes over and does a puppet show for him. And it's just like, I've never been more happy with what happens on my television screen than when I'm watching a Gremlins movie.
I agree with those scenes. I laughed my ass off, and I think that was kind of like proto Adult Swim almost, with like kind of with like a non sequitur, if that's the right word, like type of humor where it's just it happens and it's like, whoa, what the fuck?
You made the comment right there at the beginning where it's like you were like, holy crap, this acting is in the dialogue is atrocious. I found a review for this movie where the only good thing they said about it was that the dad was funny and his dialogue was good. And I was like, this person had a stroke.
This person is the opposite. It's like
of me.
It's like anti-human.
Like the guy walks in, hello, my name is Charles. I make inventions. Give me something.
Okay, I have to admit, I really liked the dad's inventions. I thought all the invention scenes were great.
Yeah.
Like the scene with the orange juice.
The orange juice is, oh my god.
Yeah, it's funny.
Annihilates the kitchen.
This movie has several really great Chekhov's guns that give you a good payoff. So at one point, the dad walks in and he shuts the door behind him, and a sword falls off the wall for some stupid reason. And he's acting all nonchalant, right? Like, oh, there's just swords in the living room, yada, yada, yada. And then there's the orange juice scene where you stick an orange juice in the kitchen and something in the kitchen, and it malfunctions and it spits orange juice everywhere. And then both of those things are used to kill gremlins. That's so cool. What other movie is just like, yeah, we're gonna juice a gremlin? Like we're gonna have a 5-minute scene where that's like super feminist, where this mom just goes Rambo on some gremlins.
That came out of nowhere.
Yeah. Can we talk about that scene next?
Yeah, that was a shock. It's quite a statement to make your first kill of the movie, turning on a blender and blending a gremlin to death.
That's like in most movies, the mom would be the first victim. She would be in the house when the gremlins turn into gremlins, and the gremlins would come downstairs and scare her in the kitchen, which is kind of a sexist trope.
Right.
And they would kill her in some funny way, and the parents would come home like, oh no. But in this movie, she hears something upstairs, and she immediately grabs a steak knife and then thinks for a second and turns around and grabs a second steak knife. Dual, like Jay said, he texted us. He was like, dual wielding. And then goes to town on these gremlins. Like,
dude, she fucking wrecks them.
Yes, there's 6 gremlins in that kitchen, and she puts them all down one after the other. She microwaves gremlins. She juices gremlins. She stabs gremlins. Like it's a freaking, she's Michael Myers. It's so cool, and I really love that she was not like a helpless victim. She went to town.
Honestly, the only helpless person was Billy in this movie.
Yeah.
Because even even Phoebe Cates, I forgot her name, Phoebe Cates' character in this movie, she had a higher body count than Billy.
Yeah.
Because she slams a gremlin's head into a car door. She does a couple of camera flashes to take gremlins down. And Billy is just a fucking limp rag that whole movie.
Phoebe also dodges bullets, literally.
Yeah, she dodged a bullet at point blank. So
freaking Matrix style.
Some latent abilities there. It's not being talked about.
So the other thing with her character is she's just willing to go with the flow for a really long time. I'm sorry, lady, but
totally chill.
Why are you serving these gremlins in the bar? She's literally in the bar and they're just absolutely trashing this bar, and she's serving them like they're human beings.
Yeah,
one of them has a gun.
She's trying to light their cigarettes for them. And the guy that's smoking 4 of them at the same time, she's lighting them. And then at one point she realizes that she can kill them, and so she does try and get out. But I love her character. Her character is one of my favorite characters ever.
I'm gonna talk about it. We gotta talk about it now.
Yeah.
Her character, Kate, got 2 things. I loved the scene. Yeah. Well, one, I liked the scene where he took her to her door and they were having a normal conversation, and she turns to walk away, and instead of just saying something normal, he's like, Kate, Did you catch that? Where she's like,
When he asks her out.
yeah. He has a scene where it's like a normal conversation. She's leaving, and he just yells her name emphatically, like, Kate! And then he goes back to, hey, yeah, sorry.
No,
Anyway.
I didn't notice that, Jace.
So I thought that was
Amber,
weird.
It was probably like an intercut or something where they're like, we have literally no other footage of her turning around.
But
Yeah,
Kate
that was
hates
awkward, yeah.
Christmas.
Yes, please, Jace, please.
And you think maybe it's kind of has some anti-capitalistic intent because we see a lot of that in the movie and the undertones. But she has this line where she says, while other people are celebrating Christmas, there are a lot of people that are lamenting it, and it's a depressing time of year. And kind of like leaves it at that. And Billy is so innate. He doesn't ask at all. He's just like, okay.
He just wanders around like aimlessly.
We get to the point where he's asked her out. She has agreed. She has dealt with this gremlin shit, and she's on her couch. And in the biggest turn of any movie I've ever seen, she's like, do you want to know why I hate Christmas? I hate Christmas because my dad disappeared. And then 5 days later, I tried to light the fireplace, and it started to stink. And it turns out my dad went missing because he tried to dress up like Santa. He fell down the chimney, broke his neck instantly. So I found out on the same day that Santa isn't real and my dad was dead.
Yeah, she's not. Yeah, she's like, that's how I found out Santa wasn't real.
Why was that in the movie?
And then right after that, Billy's just like, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
He doesn't give a shit at all.
That was Amber's comment when she started talking. She was like, Billy's not even listening because he's just going around. He's like picking up a telephone and he's like just walking around.
That scene is like, I think, comedy gold
It's
because
hilarious.
this movie is like funny though. There's nothing really sad in this movie all that much. And then she just gives this terrible speech, and it's completely cold cut, like nobody cares. And the director was told by his editor, or at least the studio, that he had to pick and choose between that scene and a different scene to put in the movie, and he chose this one instead. So there's a deleted scene
What was the other scene?
I know, I just watched it today. I have the special edition.
Ooh.
So like it's in the bank in the same building, really, and they go around the corner and they find the boss like murdered by the gremlins. Ironically, it's kind of funny.
Okay. Yeah.
And then there's a bank vault, and they hear a voice from the bank vault, and they open the bank vault up, and it's that annoying guy who keeps hitting on Kate that works at the bank.
Oh yeah.
Judge.
I'm gonna be a
He kinda went
millionaire
away.
by the time I'm 30.
Yeah, and the gremlins have locked him in the vault, and it's still behind bars at this point. And they open the big swing vault door, and he's like, "You let me out, please, clip on, please let me out." And he's just being a total dick. And then so they end up just closing the vault door back on him and trapping him in there.
God. I think that
Okay.
was
So it was one or the other.
yeah. That's on brand for Billy, I think, because
He doesn't understand what death is. I feel like that's what it is. He just like he does not care.
it's because I think it's part of it is the leaded gasoline. Back then it was more lead poisoning just around the 80s, and brains just didn't work the same way. And like he did witness a murder scene with the high school teacher that he showed the first gremlin to, because he rolls up and he sees the high school teacher dead on the ground, like a gremlin like injected him with poison, and he's like, oh dang. And that was just the end of his reaction. And he goes to the cops and doesn't mention it.
Yeah, the cops are like, "Oh right, yeah, like what's gonna happen?" Oh yeah. It's like he doesn't mention that.
He only
They've already
mentions
killed
gremlins.
somebody.
Yeah, he should have just been like, "There's a dead body." Like, just connect the dots from there.
No, you do no. You don't go to a police station and you say, "There's a dead body. Some little murderous creatures did it." They'll be like, "You killed the school teacher?" That is how you become suspect number one.
Not like those police officers even cared about murders happening anyways, because there was literally a guy getting mauled by gremlins in a hilarious scene where they just like roll up the window and they're like, "Oh Jesus, better get the hell out of here."
Can we go back?
Yeah, and the police say something that's one of my favorite lines in the movie, of which there are many, is he says, "This is Christmas, not Halloween." And that's the theme. That's the theme of the movie, you guys. Like, that is the movie in one sentence because there's this dichotomy between disgusting and peaceful. And you have like Gremlins and Mogwai. And you have people that love Christmas, and you have people whose fathers die on Christmas.
Yeah.
And I think that something that Kate says is she says, like, it's okay to hate other holidays, but people don't like it if you don't like Christmas. That's, I think, a really great point. And I don't like Christmas. And whenever I tell someone that, they're like, what? You're crazy. But if I'm like, yeah, I don't like Arbor Day, nobody's like, what? But like,
Are you fucking kidding me?
That's reasonable. And plenty of people hate Halloween or 4th of July and things like that. But Christmas is given this, well, obviously for religious purposes, but like, it's not that big of a deal to not like a holiday.
You have a preference.
Yeah.
Some people don't like the obligation of having to spend a piss load of money every year.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so like they purposely made this movie an anti-Christmas movie.
Mm-hmm.
This is really, it's Halloween, not Christmas, because like they released it in summer. They didn't have like actual Christmas music in the movie.
It's always
They had a few.
They had like riffs on it. Yeah.
It's an interesting thing when a movie releases or it's like when a Christmas themed movie comes out in like a non-Christmas time. I remember Iron Man 3 came out in like May or something, and it was a Christmas movie. It was like, and at the end they're like, Merry Christmas, and they hug, and I'm like, huh, that is a weird choice.
Just thematically and also like time of year.
Yeah, it's just like, were we supposed to feel like a Christmassy move leaving the theater? And that happens over and over again.
It's 108 degrees outside.
Now I'm
what
just
is this
angry.
supposed to be? Yeah.
This movie has the highest body count of humans of any holiday horror movie we watched.
Seriously?
Yeah.
9 people
Wow.
die in this movie. And
No way.
Yep.
Do you remember which? Because so like there was the tractor death, right? Where the old man and his wife get run over by a tractor. 2. There was the old lady getting yeeted out of the window with the stairs thing that Ryan mentioned, which was hilarious.
Yep.
So that's 3. Guy getting mauled.
Yeah.
Mauled, Professor
5.
There
was
when you search it up, the count online is
okay.
But yeah, and there's a couple
Remember that.
people that get killed in deleted scenes.
Okay, yeah. And then did you guys catch the radio guy?
Oh yes, this is like Rockin' Randy. It's been a rough night, but I'm still on the air.
He's like, we got the hoses. We're gonna blast them once they come through that door.
Oh my god, it's so funny.
Rocket Randy.
Little things like that, I think, are what makes a movie feel self-contained. And there's also another line. It's one that Kate says, and she says they're talking about the bar, and Billy says that's where my dad proposed to my mom, and she says that's where everybody's dad proposed to their mom. And I think that's just a great way to make a script feel like it's set in a small town, or like, this town's going nowhere.
I would love to see just a series of just like a Gremlin society just functioning after just seeing like the movie theater scene where they were just kind of like running things, because they're highly intelligent. And I just want to see a wordless drama, kind of like in Rick and Morty, there was that whole like snakes subplot where they were just hissing, and you just see a whole storyline play out. They could totally do the same thing with Gremlins.
Yeah. The movie theater scene is amazing because you first see them all sitting orderly. Like they're each in a
their own seat
in the movie theater. And then you go up to the projector booth and they're messing with the film. They're tearing the film apart. And then they end up working the projector. Like the projector turns on and plays the movie.
It's not easy. Like
and they can read.
They're intelligent.
Yeah, they can read and speak.
And Billy's go-to is to fill the theater up with gas and blow it to high hell.
Yeah, it works.
But like, is that your go-to? First,
What's your choice?
Not commit domestic terrorism and just get the fuck out of town, dude. Get like some, get the military involved or something.
I think the idea was that they sabotaged all the electronics. They sabotaged all the cars.
Yeah.
Homie had to chill.
Okay. because I just don't think I would go straight to Rambo and blow up a building. You know, and he doesn't know, he didn't clear that place. He doesn't know if there's like any workers in there still or something. He just killed like 800 sentient beings.
So you would have taken the time to leave the town, drive to your local nearest military establishment, let the gremlins kill everybody you've known growing up, and
He already did
you
that.
feel you took the moral high road because you didn't blow up the theater. Is what I'm hearing.
I would have fled the town from the first gremlin sighting.
Yeah,
Actually-
but that's why he's like. That's why they tell this story. And there's probably people who did leave, but they're telling this story because, well, he started it, and also
Billy's
he's
an
fixing
idiot.
the mess. He's like, he's saving the girl, which she ends up kind of doing all the work, and he has a cool chainsaw fight with the gremlin.
That she saves him. She would have just been chainsawed if she didn't turn on the lights.
That sequence turned into Looney Tunes, and I was here for it. Like,
Me too.
The chainsaw scene where the chainsaw hits the ground, and it therefore propels the gremlins like a snowmobile. And he drags him across it, and then he hits the wall, and like there's birds around his head, and like at one point also Gizmo gets absolutely clobbered when he pulls on the blinds.
Yeah.
And they ratchet up, and there's this cutaway shot of Gizmo just being launched into the ceiling, and like he messes himself up.
I liked the a lot of the perspective shots from like Mogwai and Gremlin height
Yes.
in this movie,
very
especially
the
the
thing,
little
right?
the race car scene too.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
like you anthropomorphize in a way these non-human creatures when you put the camera at their eye level and shoot them like they're a human figure.
Yeah.
And that's what the Thing does whenever it's focused on the dog, who's the monster. Like they put the camera level at the dog's eye level, and so you're instantly thinking from the get-go something's off. Like I'm not used to seeing dogs like this.
Yeah. Well, I got the same feeling from an even better movie called Thanksgiving, where the turkey was pretending to be a human, and you also saw from his level, and you're like, "Is this a turkey?" And you're not sure because the disguise is so
good. Yeah. Super high deception roll.
Hi, Dad.
Hugs the turkey.
Are these your friends?
Dad, you know my friends.
I like how the end of the movie, where the Mogwai goes back home, and the dad's like, "We're so sorry," and they kind of just shrug off that they killed half their town. So thanks guys for coming. This is the Gremlins patch updates meeting. Johnny Grems unfortunately was eaten alive. So I'm just here. We're just gonna try to work this stuff out, just make these Gremlins actually marketable and workable for us evil people. So you guys got any thoughts? Patches? We're thinking make the Mohawk guy, just make it bigger.
For sure.
Taller Mohawk.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna make the Mohawk bigger.
Longer
and
too,
then-
kind of like a mullet, mullet,
Yeah,
Mohawk mullet.
More like a Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Yeah.
Greener.
I think there's a good amount of green. The problem is with dark green, like forest green, in low lighting, it looks really dark and it's hard to see the gremlins.
That's the point.
So, but we could do more like a neon green.
Make them easier to see.
Yeah, each gremlin could have like its own pattern.
And then we have to sell gremlin camo, so if they're on a night mission, you can't see them again.
Oh yeah, tactical gear for Gremlins.
That actually would probably. What if? Oh my God! What if we gave gremlins like a wetsuit?
Like a SWAT team suit.
What if we gave them like a full body wetsuit or something like that, and then they could go in the water, and also they could be exposed to sunlight, and give them sunglasses.
Yeah, the sunlight patch. Everyone's been asking about the sunlight thing. They want that. They're tired of the gack.
I went to the bar at the conference.
Yeah.
You know, right down there, and I saw one of your gremlins drinking beer.
Yeah, that's part of
But
their
that's
shtick.
that's water, and he's not.
No, it has to be actual water. Alcohol content nullifies the whole
yeah.
thing. And so you see also with the midnight, do they understand time zones?
Yeah, they got their. Listen, this is all Johnny Grem's. I'm not his spoke. He had wicked bad lead poisoning.
We should probably do like a time zone thing.
He seemed to say that his first deployment of these was to a small town in something like Kansas. They can walk on snow. That is also
be a
pure
problem.
water.
Oh,
I was sort of imagining them as like cold-blooded, so like the snow wouldn't melt.
bingo. Thank you. Down in front. What's your name?
Fred Greenwood.
Greenwood, you're promoted.
Oh,
I'm just trying to ask the scientific-based questions here instead of get through this malarkey because if beer doesn't count, but frozen pure
we're
water.
fixing the water patch. We're fixing the water patch. We're giving them
Okay,
wetsuits.
Wetsuits. Okay, what? Yeah.
Okay,
no,
every
I'm fully on
gremlin
board
gets a
with
wetsuit. Longer hair, wetsuits, more green. And that's all
Yeah,
we're fixing.
sunglasses.
And sunglasses too. Well, guys, are we ready to give our reviews?
Yeah,
What
there's
did I-
there's nothing else to say that we can't say in review form.
I think I'm ready.
All right. Well, let's hit it with our spiritometers for this movie. Spiritometer for Gremlins. This is going to be interesting, weighing it against Krampus. This does take place during Christmas. They do say Merry Christmas a few times. There's some passing references to Santa Claus in Phoebe Cates' character's story. There's a lot of spray painted asbestos snow all over the set. So it does look vaguely cold. But other than that, these gremlins aren't really Christmas themed. Could have taken place during any holiday, just like we've said in other episodes. This could have been, during St. Patrick's Day or Valentine's Day. These gremlins themselves are not very holiday themed. There wasn't really any Christmas themed kills. Maybe if the gremlin, I don't know, stabbed someone with a candy cane or hit someone with like a little nutcracker toy or something, then maybe you're going to get some higher numbers from me. So since it does take place during the holiday, some characters mention Christmas, there's decorations and things like that, I'm going to give it a 4. It does register on the scale. I think you're not wrong to call it a Christmas movie, but it's not very Christmassy to me. And I think the monsters themselves are just a self-contained entity. And I believe the second one, I'm not sure does that take place during Christmas itself too?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't need it as part of its DNA. So it's going to be a 4.
That's fair. I'm gonna go higher. I'm gonna give it a 7. I think you are right. It could take place on a different holiday, but I do think this was very much a Christmas movie because like it was a Christmas present gone wrong. Like that's the whole premise. I think there were some other Christmas references, such as the carolers, right? Like the gremlins at one point take the place of a human caroling team. And so when she answers the door, it's just a bunch of gremlins going, rah, 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 and it's absolutely hilarious. So I'm gonna go with a 7. There's Santa hats abound. The bar is decorated. There's snowmen and stuff. So I'm gonna go with 7.
All right, a 7.
I'm giving it a 9.
Wow.
A 9 on the spiritometer.
I'm disappointed that you would give this movie the same score that you gave I Know What You Did Last Summer for being 4th of July. That's disgusting.
Okay, well let me hear it. What makes this Christmassy for you?
Yeah, exactly. It was the Mogwai gizmo is a gift.
Yeah.
Thematically, everything's set around the fact that it's Christmas. Set design, the carolers. This movie feels like Christmas to me. I just wouldn't give it a 4, which is the numbers that we've given like Thanksgiving and we've given I Know What You Did Last Summer, because those were like holiday adjacent, but a lot of work went into this to making you feel a bit more like you were on the holiday than those. I might be too high, but I left the movie being like, wow, that was Christmassy. All the characters were talking about Christmas. There were Christmas tree scenes. Santa Claus got killed by a bunch of gremlins, I believe.
I think that's the guy that was crawling out of the house. He was dressed as Santa.
The Santa Claus dead in a chimney monologue was just totally out of place. And I could definitely beat the shit out of at least one gremlin.
There it is.
So it might
At
be an
least one.
8. But
How good are you in swarm combat? Like, are you good at like
I think Jace would be pretty good.
crowd
Maybe.
control?
if I'm
because
not
he-
fighting Spike is crafty.
Spike?
This one I think is Stripe. Spike is the second.
Oh,
It's the villain in the second movie.
Okay. Yeah. No, you're right. Stripe. If it was Stripe,
He's good.
He's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jace, I think you have the hip flexibility, and you have this
Nice.
body awareness to take out several gremlins at once. I think you would fare better in the same situation that Santa person was in.
Yeah.
You'd get out of that.
Staff type of weaponry would be good. Kind of sweeping. take out
Ooh.
multiple at the same time. I'm thinking like Matrix, like
How would Stripe do on Survivor?
Well, most of the challenges are during the day, so he would die.
think-
Horrifically.
The first medical evac.
I think he died on the helicopter.
The helicopter's
get
like
this thing?
the pilot's like swerving all over the place in the intro.
As far as my movie score goes, for this guy, I'm gonna try to weigh this free of nostalgia. For me, I'm gonna try to actually rate this thing because I just this movie is a classic, and because if I rate it for my nostalgia meter of like something I watched growing up, I'm gonna give it a 10, which I don't think is fair to what I watched last night because I was laughing at the movie a lot. And there were a lot of parts where I was just like squirming in my chair because it was just so awkwardly done. However, I did get some laughs. I did, think a lot of the Gremlins gags was funny. There are times where I thought they built like a cool and funny world with the Inventors Conference. There was some pretty funny lines in there. However, at the end of the movie, I was like, that was just kind of very feverish. It was paced super weird. There was times where it just kind of stops dead. Billy makes a ton of just really frustrating decisions where I'm like pulling my hair out watching this idiot. Like there's a gremlin that comes on the TV, he looks at it and he's like, oh, and then pauses and then swings and hits it with a bat. And I'm like, that didn't make sense. There's just constant things like that in this movie. Maybe it's a product of the time and I'm just spoiled. So I'm going to give this movie a 7, which I think is merciful. This movie is, if you haven't seen it, it's a staple. It's, if you're looking for new Christmas content that isn't Die Hard and, those stop motion movies, check out Gremlins if you haven't already. But yeah, a 7. Pretty good still.
I thought you were gonna be harsher than that. I'm gonna take nostalgia into consideration. I'm gonna give this, I think, an 8. We've had some other movies that I think obviously are just better. Like pacing, I think is this movie's worst problem.
Mm-hmm.
It gets pacing way wrong and pacing way right. There's a couple scenes that are so long, and I wish they were longer because I'm just loving every second of it. And then there are some scenes that are so long that I'm like, why did they not cut this? They cut so much else. Why did they not cut it? Because the original cut was like 2 hours and 45 minutes, apparently.
Are you serious?
And yeah, they have over an hour of Gremlins footage just chilling somewhere on the floor.
Dear God.
And I love this movie. I think that some really great tropes were continued. I don't mean tropes negatively. I mean, from my favorite horror movies, which are things like creature features like Alien and The Thing, what they did was they sought out the guidance of a scientist. And in this movie, that's exactly what they did. The first thing they do is, oh my God, I don't understand this. This looks to be not like a normal creature. I mean, I'm going to go to the only scientist that I know because he knows more about this type of thing than I do.
The high school teacher.
And they go to the high school teacher. And that's fine. The characters are making a smart choice. And they do that in those other movies as well. And I like that because that's something I would do. Like, I'm not an expert. You should give me some advice. And I don't know. I don't have that much of a problem with Billy. I think he's an idiot, but I think he's supposed to be an idiot. I don't think he's supposed to be, John Rambo. And this movie's just good. There's some great lighting in this movie with the pool scene. They put the whole pool there like at a YMCA or something like that. And then they light up because the gremlins multiply with water and they get into the pool. You're like, oh no. And it's really cool. I love this movie. The theater scene just has me laughing my butt off with the gremlins like singing with the 7 dwarfs. And I think that's just so good. What I'd say, an 8? Let's go 8.
Yeah.
I don't think that I think I might have seen Gremlins too when I was a kid. I might have not have seen this movie because I recall telling you last week that I know that the only thing about Gremlins was that it scared the living crap out of me. And I was very, very pleasantly surprised with this movie. I thought like tonally with the shots, like the sets and the color scheme was well done. I liked a lot of the effort that it seemed like had to go into this movie in 1984 for making the sets. And a lot of the
agree.
like crazy the amount of detail. Yeah, the main character was pretty stupid. One of I think like thinking back, one of my favorite scenes was at the Inventor show when he's talking on the phone, and then it cuts, and then it goes back, and then the two people in the back are cleaning up the thing that exploded. Like
I think-
one of the cars
yeah.
must have
But
exploded.
Jace, I think that's a time machine.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jace, it's built very similar to like the original time machine from the H.G. Wells novel.
Huh.
And so I think it's like an in joke that like it worked.
Yeah, I saw that on the movie details subreddit, or someone pointed that out, where it's just like it just disappears and they're just like looking at the empty space.
Like picking up like a wheel.
Yeah, and I didn't notice that for years. So it's cool that I think
didn't
that's
either.
awesome that you noticed that on your first run through.
It's the movie's really detailed. I think one of the things that like the producer and the director made sure to do was like the movie had a lot of references to other movies, a lot of
Steven
other
Spielberg.
pop culture. And this is probably my favorite movie we've watched this season.
That's awesome.
And I'm gonna give it a 9. I'm gonna give it the same score that I
Dang.
gave Trick or Treat, just because it's definitely not perfect.
Totally. That's Gremlins too.
That's perfection.
Totally not perfect, but I was really just surprised. I had to watch it this morning. I'm just kind of blown away how much fun, like how many times I laughed, how much fun I had watching it, and it's probably a yearly Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Just like
Should've
Surviving
gave it a
Christmas.
9.
You're locked in, Ryan.
I know. I feel bad. Gee, you make so many- I didn't want to overshoot you guys by so much.
Yeah, we're just Gremlins haters, you and me, Ryan. Well, hell yeah, man. I'm glad you enjoyed it. This is just, I'm glad we got a chance to review this movie for our Christmas episode. I did see that there is still a third movie in the works. It's still in production hell.
Yeah, Joe Dante, I think, has been planning it for like a long time.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of work that goes into it, and trying to find someone who's willing to give him creative control, I think, is a huge problem.
Well, after the second one, I think that was the whole, the whole debacle. And then I think I'd read a bit from like an interview with I think one of the producers, and he was saying that they had written a script, and the script explored the idea that like if all the gremlins come from getting Gizmo wet and feeding his Mogwai offspring after midnight, should Gizmo be eliminated? And he described his script as twisted and dark. So and
That'd
like
be so cool.
so are they? Is there just like a SWAT team trying to eliminate Gizmo?
And
just,
Gizmo
stop
fights
it.
back, and he purposefully makes gremlins.
Maybe it's like Planet of the Apes.
Now he's
Yo, hold on. Okay.
Whoa! Planet of the Gremlins.
Okay.
Oh my God!
This is a lot
Denali.
easier problem to solve. I sent you guys a GIF of a 75,000 lumen flashlight. You can just walk up and be like, "Brrr," just melt all of them.
Unless
Yeah.
you give him wetsuits and sunglasses.
Oh, yep. Yeah, I forgot.
The
So,
patch,
you're right.
chase. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the mullet mohawk thing also kind of
Yeah, it makes him really cool.
makes them too cool, and you're kind of distracted, and they get you.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I think that would be the perfect segue to then just a all Gremlins world, and we can just watch movies with Gremlins antics. Like there's a Gremlins president election, and there's like a Gremlins journalist trying to like blow the whole thing open. And
I want to see
intrigue.
like a world where humans are still around, but gremlins run it. And
Right.
so like maybe gremlins are in the crowd at like a sports event, and they like make humans like in a monster truck rally, but there's like humans running around on the arena, and they have to see. It's like Mario Party.
Ooh.
See
So
who
this-
survives the longest.
yeah. So it's kind of like a Battlefield Earth.
Like a Mad Max or like a Thunderdome.
It wouldn't be a stretch to have a Mad Max movie where just you replace all the Raiders with Gremlins.
That would be so good.
That would be sick. So, Chris Columbus, if you're writing this script and you like what we're throwing, just feel free to Venmo us whatever you think's fair, dog. Just whatever amount. So
Got one more thing to say before we segue off the topic of Gremlins. And it's that this is the first time, Ryan, that I agree with you that a horror movie doesn't have to be scary.
Yay!
It clicked during this one. I had a conversation with Yuri about it where I was like, based on what all the characters in that movie went through, even though it wasn't set up to be a scary movie and it wasn't frightening,
Right.
that would be a horror to be trapped in that town with all of those gremlins.
Yeah, it goes horror at the beginning with the kitchen scene and the teacher.
Yeah.
Like those are horror scenes, and then immediately it gets played for laughs after that. And I totally agree, Jace. That's actually how I view slasher movies. So like every time I watch like a Friday the 13th sequel or something like that, I'm watching it because I know I'm not going to be scared. I just want to see what crazy ways that Jason ends up killing teenagers in this movie. It's the same exact thrill. I totally agree.
All right.
If you want to see Gremlins movies that don't have actual gremlins in them, just watch Friday the 13th sequels, and I really do think it's the same aesthetic.
Or watch Critters, because Gremlins spun off a bunch of those like small monsters invade a small town movies in the 80s.
Yeah, creature features.
Well, not just creature. I mean, it's just like Gremlins copies is a specific genre within creature features. And I'm like trying to remember all of the ones they're called, because there was Critters, which was like the next biggest. But then there was like 10 other little series where there's like little monsters, little demons, like, and a lot of them were direct to video, but some of them did have limited releases. Critters, Ghoulies, Troll was technically a spin-off, Hobgoblins, Munchies, and maybe just for a future pitch someday, all of the
Gremlin adjacent movies.
Gremlin adjacent movies. I think there's like 10 Critters movies. So, alrighty, guys. Well, this was episode 8.
Mm-hmm. Only 2 more.
We only have 2 more of these suckers left. 2 more holiday horror movies to tackle. Is next week our New Year's episode?
Yeah.
So that means we need to find a good New Year's movie to tackle this week.
I know of the existence of Terror Train.
Yep.
Okay, I'm listening.
It's Jamie Lee Curtis. She's stuck on a train where there's a guy in a mask.
But is it New Year's themed?
Yes.
Okay.
New Year's Evil. Ooh, there's a Jaws movie that's set on New Year's?
Oh, that's perfect, because I haven't seen any of them.
Oh, it's the Michael Caine one.
Michael Caine. Oh, that's the one from the meme, right? Where he's like,
Yeah.
I built my house. You fucking know. I see.
See, this Screen Rant has Terror Train at number 1.
I dig it.
Now, Terror Train.
Kind of want to see that.
It's Canadian. It's going to be very MVV. Bloody New Year. A group of partygoers celebrate New Year's Eve at the Grand Island Hotel before mysteriously vanishing. Decades later, a group of teenagers are spending the day at a seaside fun fair when eventually they get transported back in time
Yo.
and get stuck in that hotel.
Fuck, it sounds cool.
That sounds like the coolest premise.
Rather than just like horror movie set on New Year's, this is like actual.
Like, it sounds
There's
like
something about
New
the
Year's.
passing of the years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Halloween 2 is a New Year's. No way.
Oh.
It's next to a New Year's column. I'm just fucking idiot.
Bloody New Year features nobody that I've ever heard of,
Yeah.
and only one dude has a picture on Letterboxd, but he does not have a bio, and he's only in this movie. Okay, literally everybody in this movie is only in this movie.
Is that a good or a bad thing?
It's probably fucking awesome.
I think that's a great thing.
This would be like if we made a horror movie, you guys.
This movie is better known by its title of Horror Hotel. There's no way we're not watching this movie.
Oh my lord. Okay. Yeah, guys, once Brian said the synopsis, I was on board, but now I'm even harder on board of this horror train. This
isn't the train.
New Year's train.
This is not the train.
This is
the
not the
hotel.
train. But I'm on the New Year's train for this movie.
Yeah, but I think this is kind of confusing because there's also a New Year's movie called Terror Train, and it takes place on a train.
Okay. So I have booked.
I'm on a train.
Yeah,
to this
I
movie.
booked a reservation to the train that'll take me to the hotel.
Right.
We have to get on a boat after we get on the train because it's on. I think it's on an island, so we'll have to book those tickets too.
Oh god, that's such a hassle. Okay.
I'll handle the boat tickets.
The boat tickets. Okay, cool. So I am on the train though.
Yes.
The hype train for this hotel movie. Sweet. Well, and what's this movie called again? Now I keep.
Called
Yeah.
Bloody New Year.
Oh, is it a British movie? We
Yes,
can have
it's
a
shot in
Bloody New
Wales.
Year.
Oh wait, what's a Welsh accent? Jace, you're our accents expert.
Not gonna tackle it unless nope, not this one.
I think a Wales accent is like.
Mhm. We were thinking of making the same joke. You just did it.
Yeah, perfect. There, I did it. Now you don't have to embarrass yourself. Great. Well, we hope you guys will join us for our New Year's special. Kick off the new year. Make it your New Year's resolution to listen to this episode. And that's it. That's what's great about setting low bars, is that you always get them. You know, and set a reach goal, but then set a short goal. And it's like, I'm gonna listen to the next GBGB episode all the way through, and I no matter how hard it is, no matter how bad the bits are,
how much it makes me want to throw my phone.
if you made it all the way through this episode, you were strong.
Congratulations. Thank you for upping our statistics.
I'm sorry for the things that I said. I apologize.
We're sorry, but we're also grateful for you guys tuning in and spending your holidays at least partially with us. You spent a non-zero amount of time with us, and that means a lot. Y'all hold a special place in our hearts, and we hope we hold a special place in your ears as well. So we will see you guys next year with Bloody New Year. And with that, do you guys want to sign off with a maybe a New Year's resolution or a goal?
Yeah, my New Year's resolution is to watch more Ben Affleck movies.
That was your
Ooh.
resolution last year. You're just gonna. Oh no! Is this a season 5 peak?
No, I think that funny thing is that was literally my resolution last year.
That I remember our New Year's episode last year. My resolution is to, you know what, I've been putting it off for a long time. I'm gonna learn how to juggle. That's one of the things. Like, Amber's like wicked good at juggling, and it's actually really intimidating.
Oh, cool. I can't juggle either.
Yeah, I'm you know, you guys probably can tell just from like the everything about me, but I'm not very coordinated. So learning how to juggle, I think, would be a great step for me. And you know, it's like growing up, it's not a cool like thing to learn. You know, it's like, you know, you don't really draw a crowd. But like nowadays, I think as an adult knowing how to juggle, I think it's kind of cool again. So that's gonna be my resolution this year.
Can we make up a resolution for Jace one word at a time?
Jace, do you want help with this one?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. All right.
How about you start us off, Jace?
Yeah. Let's start. Yeah.
Okay. Make
Sure.
More
smoothies
Fit.
alongside.
with
My
Extensive
collection
of
vintage.
harmonicas.
Nice.
that's
a good. Oh, I thought that was it. That don't
Yet
ever.
scream.
Now that is a resolution.
Yes. What is it, Jace?
make sure that my smoothies fit alongside with my vintage harmonicas that never scream.
Wow, you
Something
remember that
along
whole
those
thing?
lines.
That's amazing. Are you a fucking mentat, dude? Like,
I
holy
think-
shit.
I think it was like. I think it
It's
was
close
actually
to that. It was close to
Make
that.
sure more movies fit
Yes.
alongside with my harmonicas that never yet scream or something.